Agreed.
So there are 4 Decacorns in San Francisco to every 1 coming out of New York, never mind everywhere else. That's where it's happening, right? It doesn't fucking mean it's the only place it's happening, right? Like, it's very helpful. The density is better than anywhere else in the world. In fact, after you start a company, go west, young man or woman, right? Like, and allow that to supercharge your company if that's where you should be doing it. With that being said, that doesn't mean that people aren't starting companies in Burlington and in Philadelphia and
Rochester,
in Toronto, Rochester, Austin, like all of these places. And it's going to keep happening everywhere.
Did I read correctly that about half of your companies are in these sort of
It's kind of our jam. So
Okay.
doing a circle back
to the YU.
Back to the beginning of the conversation when I was giving this, this rant about San Francisco and the history of venture and where it's at now. Like, there's a point to this, and at least in my mind, and the point is that you can practice venture capital outside of San Francisco, and the way that we choose to do it is we choose to get on planes, to go meet people where they are, to meet the centers of influence in those cities, the people that have such pride for Burlington, Philadelphia. There are people that have created massive companies that go back to their hometowns and they build hospitals and they're awesome and so on and so forth. Like, I don't know, Hula, like so on and so forth, yourself and everybody that's here. And they have tremendous civic pride or town pride, whatever you want to call it. And so what we do is we go and we say, we Oliver Twist, we truffle pig and we Oliver Twist. We walked up to David Bradbury and the guys at Hula and we say, please, sir, can you give me some deal flow? And as long as we're there often enough, and I will admit that I'm not here often enough, but usually we'll visit places a lot. And
but you get right back to me when I said, hey, here's something kind of wacky we're looking at.
Let's have a turkey club.
Yeah,
let's enjoy a conversation. And maybe, just maybe, that'll make you think of me when you have this company that nobody else has seen. And you're like, there's just something about this entrepreneur that I like. Do you want to talk to him?
You're meeting with 2 of them while you're here. You don't know that yet.
So that's it, man. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, I mean, what, just explain, I know that you guys use the term misfit founder, which I love. What does that mean? Like, what do you see in that founder?
I think you're probably a little too young to remember. I think it was maybe The Year Without a Santa Claus or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It was one of those claymation movies. That's one of your jams?
Yeah, I mean, I love Christmas.
There was the Island of Misfit Toys.
I know the Island of Misfit Toys.
Okay, sorry. No, I don't know. You I don't know what you whippersnappers are into nowadays.
Hopefully that never goes out of style, the Island of Misfit Toys.
So we, again, they're not misfits, but like they kind of are. They decide to start a company in Burlington. Or Burlington decides to start a company.
It's an irrational decision.
Or Burlington decides to start a company in them. Right? Like, and that's where they are. They're misfits. And guess what? And I'll say it right here. This is going to be a little, hopefully somebody hears it. If I'm going up from a competitive standpoint against Hamant from General Catalyst or Brian from Sequoia or Ben from Andreessen Horowitz, chances are I'm self-aware that I may lose. I was about to say I'll lose, but I'm not going to say that because I'm not that self-aware. I'll compete against them. But if you put one of their fucking scouts up against me, I'll wipe the floor with them every day.
Right.
Good luck. So, Godspeed. Put one of your kids up against me and see who wins that deal.
So you're fishing in a lot of ponds that may not be as covered by the principles of these luminaries, right?
Big catfish in those ponds, man. They just happen to be the
fish, right? Yeah. Rather than hook the same fish at the same dock with 10 others. You talked about backing, these 0.5% founders, right? These top of the top.
Did I say a lot of stuff?
Yeah, you do say a lot of stuff, but I retain some of it. And
throw stuff against the wall.
What does she look like?
Oh.
Like, what are the traits that just pop off? Like, we look for undeniable founders, right? And we've got certain questions and characteristics and attributes, but I'm really curious, like, what is that echelon where you just see it?
I think that when I'm meeting I'll just speak for myself personally. Like, when I'm meeting a founder, I'm sitting across the table from them. It's usually a Socratic method type interview where it's just question, I'm interrupting Cal. Like, I'll just butt in and just try to get to and then I'll just pick on things. Like, I just have this thing where I'll just drill into certain things. But what I'm really trying to do is gauge who that human is, because, you know, it is all about the human being. Markets change, ideas change. You know, Slack was once a big video game. Like, the pivots are all over the place. Like, this is just the way things work. So you're betting on the person. It's ad hominem to a person. So how do I evaluate that person? I'm sitting there and I'm just staring them in the soul, right? And just essentially trying to say, is this the type of person I think that can win and persevere and be smart? It's a big coefficient equation. And they're probably, I don't know, like 50 variables. And a lot of them are the exact same variables that everybody else puts weights on, right? In the Valley or anywhere else. Does their LinkedIn say fucking Stanford, right? Like, whatever, who cares? Yeah, sure. It's all a matter of, it's fulcrums. It's like, how much weight is on this and how great are they? And then so on and so forth. So did they go to a great school? What did they do before? Did they sell lemonade when they were a kid? Like, you know, Hummingbird Ventures, are they DSM level criteria? Like, you know, traumatized. Like, there's all sorts of different things that you can kind of say, okay, this is, I've seen this before, or there's something special about this person. I think it is all of that. I think that in addition to that, you know, it's also, is this somebody that, one, we can work with and we can help, and two, they want to be helped, or they want to work with us, or whatever that little thing is. That doesn't mean calls every day or every week or anything else along those lines. I mean, one of our amazing entrepreneurs, and this is a little bit of a curveball, like, is Colin Kaepernick. Like, and Colin, you know, started this company called Lumi. And we talked to most of our entrepreneurs, most of our portfolio companies, including the ones that are 25 million enrolling, like crazy growth, and already are going to make our portfolio once a month, usually. I'd say 80% of our portfolio companies we talk to once a month, one of us. And Colin, we talk to once every 6 months. He's a busy guy. And I'm not saying that that's, when we first started, what we envisioned. We certainly don't make a habit of investing in celebrity deals either. Like, we know what the data says about a lot of those. There's just something about Colin Kaepernick. And it's funny, if you sit there across the table from him and you're like, does he have the perseverance that is necessary, and the spirit and the will? It's like, okay, we're not gonna check those boxes. We're gonna you know, light that paper on fire, right? Like, and Colin, I mean, long story short, you know, we talked to him a month ago, and he's like, so we pivoted, but it's tangential to what he's doing. It's still kind of in stealth. It's like, well, we're going to go from 1 million last year. We're like, well, you did 1 million last year, to probably like 8 to 15 this year. He's like, and we're at X, and we have Y amount of revenue for a 3-year
Those are calls
contract.
you want all the time.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, wait, how did you do that? And, you know, like, and so that's when, so it's just, there's certain things that you just can't kind of put in a box. With that being said, I do have a philosophy on kind of how you can create the Renaissance technologies of venture capital. It has to do with data, clean data and compute, and actual, there's got to be a variable out there that enables us to really be able to tell, or a set of variables that gives us a 51% chance of picking the right entrepreneurs. I think that we're almost there. Just as kind of an ecosystem. And I think a venture capital firm, they've been trying to do it forever. Right. But I think somebody's going to figure that out relatively soon, because we now have 60 plus years worth of data, and it sits in the SEC Edgar database, LinkedIn's API, Twitter's API, or X's API, Crunchbase, PitchBook, so on and so forth. And if you triangulate all those things, you can see who starts a company and when, what it does, and how it ends up. And so I think, you know, with the compute that we have, like, I think we're going to start to be able to get a little bit better at kind of.
What fun is that? You're going to not start taking meetings and learning hour by hour?
Not us. I mean, we're not. I only need to be so rich, you know. Like, I don't need to be I think multi-billionaires' brains break at some point, right? We're seeing it in real time. What is it, 100 billion or something? Where, you know.
I've not experienced that problem, so I can't really.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So
same.